You know, Brian.
I don't know, AJ.
You know what I watched last night?
Mm-hmm.
I watched the best video game movie that currently exists.
King of Kong?
Oof, that's a great movie.
Mortal Kombat, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, buddy. The
So
new HBO
good.
one or the old one?
No, the old one.
Okay.
The one on Netflix.
Have you seen the HBO one yet?
I haven't seen the
It's
new one
surprisingly boring. I wanted it to be more fun.
Wow.
It was kind of boring.
I watched.
There can only be one.
I watched a little Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. Does that count as video game movie? I mean, it's a TV
Is that
show.
any good? I heard it peters out pretty quick and it doesn't stay good for long.
I lost interest after like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it takes like 3 episodes for it to even get good, and then I'm like, by that time I was like not really interested in continuing. So I haven't stuck with it very long.
Every review I've seen is like, even for the hardest core of Resident Evil fans, you don't need to watch this, man. Like, you can skip it. It's
very strange for sure. All right, gents, what do you think? Should we start the show?
I guess we could. I mean, what if we didn't?
That would be easier.
Yeah. What would happen then? Sit here and do an intro for an hour and a half. Anyways, I guess you can start the show. That's
all right. Let's do it. This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. My name's Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole, and the guys to my right, the boys, Dave from Dave Station, the VVVR. Ooh. I surprised myself with that one. And that guy on the right-hand side of the screen is AJ from The Underground, PSVR Underground.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. You're Moscow. There you go. Nice.
Happy Monday. What is up, Brian? What is up, Dave? What is up, GameCat? So good to see all of you. Happy Monday, as I said before, and hopefully we can help your Monday suck just a little bit less.
I tried to do that bit as well as I could while you were gone, AJ, but you do it the best. So.
Well, thank you.
All right, guys, we want to do a couple shout-outs to begin the show. First is Genetic Blasphemy with a $2 tip. Says, a wee donation to kick things off early. Pew, pew. Thank you so much, Genetic Blasphemy. He was here like an hour before the show started. Also, shout out to Multivitamin Orange. I mean, just going to say real quick, guys, wouldn't it sound better if it was Multivitamin Orange, the GameCat?
Oh, I mean, always, of course. But, thanks, Multivitamin. I don't think I've seen you around before, or tipping, or hanging. Like, if you're new, welcome to the club, man.
$2 tip says,
love to have you. Meow? Oh, he can't be new. He said meow. Okay, never mind. We're good. Right. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, you guys, a little bit of housekeeping before we get the show on the rails. It starts off the rails, I guess. Make sure you join our Discord. That's where all the craziness happens 24/7. This conversation happens 24/7. And, of course, we got a dirt rally thing going on over there. We've got all sorts of multiplayer meetups going on over there. And we've got, just a general lack of any real ambition. It's a good place to procrastinate, not going to lie. Also, we got a few people playing Box VR every day. I'm one of those people. You should join our little club.
You can't be telling me about motivation when you work out every day, Brian. Come on.
I only do it to keep up appearances. Can you imagine if I did 3 and then everyone's like, yeah, Brian just kind of like disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So join the Discord. Links in the description. All that good stuff. Also consider supporting the channel on patreon.com/withoutparolegames for just $1 or more every month. Get your name on that list down below that runs over and over and over. Really, even when I sleep, it's just constantly going. And we got one more tip to shout out before the show starts. That's Emily Baxter. # the game kitten. $2 tip says pew pew choo choo. Love it.
Toot toot.
All right, gentlemen, we got a lot of news stories to cover today in the world of PlayStation VR. AJ, what is the first news story of the week?
Oh, we've got a lot to talk about today. There is a new season of Firewall beginning tomorrow. There's an update that happened to a big game. But first, of course, we're going to start with anything PSVR or PS5 related, I should say. And there are 2 different things. And the first one is that the top 10 downloads, once again, it is that time to go over the top 10 most downloaded PSVR games of June from last month. And you guys ready? You ready?
Yeah, hold on. I just have to bring this up on the PlayStation blog here so I can follow.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Number 10, we have Vacation Simulator. Finally back in the top 10.
It was always Job Sim before. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
you just hold on to your butt.
Okay. Hold on to your butts.
Yep.
Pretty good game, man. Pretty good game overall. I think it's pretty.
It's like the first one. It does more stuff. It's got the best water mechanics I've seen in VR. Absolutely.
Best water mechanics, really.
You can stand under a waterfall with your hands and splash it on your face, and like it actually works pretty well. Like there's a physics to the water that falls, and like in rivers and stuff, you can play with it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. The kayaking mini game was a lot of fun. The rhythm game or whatever.
That was fun.
Next at number 9, we have Gun Club VR.
Ooh, baby.
Let's go. Binary Mill.
Here.
There was a sale last month.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a mix up here on this top 10. It's nice to see. I'm so sick of seeing the same games every single month.
Yeah, come on.
But again, we'll get there. Gun Club VR is excellent. If you like to I mean, I know it's kind of like a glorified target range, but it feels like so much more. Now they've added with the SWAT DLC, there's like smooth full locomotion and stuff.
Well, it always was more than just a shooting range game. Like there were cool modes, and it had a little bit of a light gun shooter feel to it when you would go through those mission kind of oriented ones where you went from place to place or whatever. I gotta say, you were talking about it's tiring to see the same games on here all the time, but the next one I'm excited to see on here every time. What is number 8, AJ?
Right. The next one at number 8, guys, is Swordsman VR. That wasn't even on sale. That's just Alec slaying it, cracking the top 10 once again. And this just shows you how important it is to do major updates to your game, the effect that can have on the sales of your game.
I mean, I got to say, I think it was just your voice acting. It's probably was what elevated it to the top 10. You know, people heard you were in there and they were like, I got to buy this thing, you know?
Yes. No more autographs, okay, guys?
Come on, slow down, guys. Release the top 10, he says.
Guys, before we get to number 7, I want to give a shout out to Sergeant Frosty with a $2 tip. Says, have your marching orders. Protect the firewall. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
You gotta play some Firewall, man.
You,
spend some time in there.
We got another one with a lot of ooh-oohs in it. AJ, you want to get this one?
I'll let Brian get this one.
Oh, okay.
It's Blue Jew,
Nice
the
of you.
underground game cat. With the $2 tip says, woohoo! Blue Jew, choo choo, toot toot. What the fuck? Hold on. There's got to be a rhythm.
There's a million oohs.
Woo woo, Blue Jew, choo choo toot toot. I don't know, man. There's an extra beat in there that like throws me off completely. Yeah. If it's not 4/4 timing, just fucking out of here, man.
Name squad in the house tonight. Are we ready to move on?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
At number 7, guys, don't tell anybody.
Oh, I won't.
The babysitter's dead.
Gorn is at number 7. I guess that means it came
Is
out.
that a pre-order thing, or like?
I guess
how
it's
does
a
that work?
pre-order.
Okay.
It's
gotta
just
be a pre-order
killing it in the
thing.
pre-orders.
Yeah. Not a bad game. Not a bad game, but I think like a few of the games on this particular list, it got here because of hype and not because the game is like the best thing on the
and
console.
It's crazy to me too, like we've played all this stuff, and hype is one thing, but like it's crazy to me to see Gorn on the top 10 list, because like it's not nearly one of the best games that we have, but like you said, people know about it. There's a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff and whatever. Like, yeah,
I think it's a decent game. I like Swordsman more,
it's
though.
decent. Yeah, I mean,
Swordsman is my Gorn. Put it that way. That's what I always say.
Man, I want to
similar,
combine the two games into one, and we'd have like the perfect battle arena. Toshinden.
Yep.
Oh yeah, here's the thing, Alec. If you're out there, give us traps we can like kick people into and stuff. That would be good. That's all we need. The next update.
There you go.
Big time.
All right. At number 6, we have Creed: Rise to Glory. This game is always selling like crazy, man.
I mean, it's with that movie tie-in and everything.
That certainly helps, I think.
Yeah. You don't even know the number of times I see a comment on like our most recent or one of our top 25 lists that somebody goes, "Oh, hey, where's Creed? It's my favorite PSVR game."
Wow,
I
really?
hear it so frequently, and I'm like, okay, that's great, but I don't see it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's really good at what it does. But favorite, like, it doesn't even make our top 25 list.
Yeah,
ever.
That's wild.
Yeah,
different strokes for different folks, I guess.
For sure.
Melee combat is super satisfying, and like especially punching, boxing. If they ever made like a fight night or something in VR, it would slay.
Especially if they got like real people too. Like, imagine like a VR UFC game that actually had like Conor McGregor or some shit in it. Like, people would buy that like hotcakes. I guarantee you.
He's done. He's done.
Oh
It's
no,
gonna
I
have
saw
to-
that fight. He fell over and he broke his ankle in like 2 seconds.
It's gonna have to be Dustin Poirier.
People
or
paid $90.
Khabib.
People paid $90 to watch him fall over a minute into the match.
Oh
was
man,
great.
my foot was a balloon.
Yeah.
All right, at number 5, speaking of slaying it, we have The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners.
Oh, yeah.
So good to see this game back on the top 10 downloaded list, because
It must have been
it
on
hurts
sale or
whenever I don't
something,
see it
right?
on there.
I mean,
That's well deserved. Yeah, for sure.
there's no way
What'd
this
you say,
game, dude, it must have been on sale or something. There's no way this game just got there
Oh,
because it's a good game or
I
something.
mean, maybe everyone just listened to our channel and realized it's the best game on PSVR.
Oh, are you new here? No one listens to us.
No one listens to us. Yeah.
Quick shout out to Craig Ray, Guts to be a Game Cat official, with the 10 quid donation. Says, can I have your autograph? I'd like to be able to say that I have something Game Cat AJ adjacent.
Oh,
Adjacent.
adjacent. Oh, I like that one.
I
Adjacent.
love it. You
That's
can
really good.
absolutely have it. Here, I am signing it right now to Craig. Send me your address to xxgodcanonxx@gmail.com. It's a dummy account for safety purposes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I will gladly send you this autograph.
Why don't you just shove it up to the screen
Well,
and you can do a screen grab?
You know what? I'm gonna one up.
Print it out at home.
One up your whole thing here, AJ,
Screen
and I'm gonna
grab
say,
this.
Yep.
as a
There
guy
you
who
go.
just showed off his 16 Trover Saves the Universe postcards that are real postcards, by the not Darth Vader Immortal, whatever. I will autograph those and send them out to anybody. So I'll do 16 of them. Hit me up.
There you
Let me
go.
know. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, super. We're still waiting on Aftershocks for
Yeah. When is that? I guess we don't have an update really.
no release date yet, but I'd imagine it won't be too much longer. At number 4, we have this is where it starts to go
This
down.
is a weird one, but I know why already. I know why.
Well, you're gonna have to explain, but it is
I will.
Rick and Morty Virtual Reality.
Not a great game, but once again, name recognition, of course, big IP, and there is a new season out now. So that is why I guarantee you that's why it sold well last month, because people are stoked and hyped and want to get back into it or whatever.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Is that game still like $35 or something? Like, please tell me it came
Better
down in
not
price,
be.
because that is like a $15 game all over the place. It's
Yeah.
it's fun, and I think fans of Rick and Morty should like it, but $15.
No, I love Rick and Morty. I hated that game.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, if you like Rick and Morty, Accounting Plus and Trover are way
Accounting
better.
Plus.
Oh,
Yeah,
Accounting Plus
absolutely.
is the best, but like
Yeah.
Trover is really funny too. And like if you're into that style of humor, even Job Sim has a really funny part that's
Yeah.
Justin Roiland in the car shop.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that bit.
Awesomeness.
Yeah,
At number 3, we have Super.
hot,
Super.
super hot. Now, guys, this
Yeah.
is the most innovative shooter that I've played in years.
Is it?
That's you don't get the joke. Okay, at the end of the game, they tell you to tell your friends that it's the most innovative shooter you've played in years.
That's right,
And it's
that's
like
right.
it's a gag. It's
I remember
gonna
you
run
quoting that or something on the top 25 list or something. Yeah, no complaints here. Super Hot's fantastic. It's a great introduction to VR as well.
Yeah.
At number 2, we have Job Simulator.
Oh. There we go.
Again, yeah.
It's been a
I
ti-
think
it's-
this one was also on sale too, but I don't know how this game just consistently is. I'm like, is it like are these new people buying PSVRs
I
constantly?
guess so. Yeah, it must be, man. Like I don't know who else it would be.
Or is it just that popular?
It does seem like anytime I see somebody say, "Hey, man, I just got PSVR," like if it's on the comments, here without Parole, or if it's over on Reddit or something like that, the first response always tends to be somebody being like, "Well, here are my recommendations," and it's always Job Simulator, And I don't know if that's because hey, it's really good for a first-time VR gamer, or if like people just like are in love with the game that much. I've never been like in love with it. I've always thought it was great. But to be like, oh, this is the first game you need to get, it seems to be on something that a lot of people say. So I
It
feel
checks
like
a lot of boxes. It checks a lot of boxes as like an intro experience. Like it's super easy to pick up and play. The interactions are very simple. You can play with a lot of stuff and kind of fool around in the world, which people like in VR. Like when you can pick up a donut and make a photocopy of it and then eat it and throw up or whatever. Like those are fun little interactions people like. So I think there's that, and then also it's funny and just like approachable.
It's also $20 these
27.
days too,
Oh.
which is like, which is helpful because when it launched, it was $30. It was $30 for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And so, and it's been on sale relatively recently for like 10 or just over $12 or so. So that's good.
I was going to say, Hawk107 says, any PSVR2 leaks or rumors, stay tuned for the next thing we're going to talk about. Right after this list, we got one more game, actually. That is number one, of course, Beat Saber.
Top of the pops.
Hell yeah.
Of course, always. Yeah. Totally.
I mean, justified. Absolutely justified. I say even more than more than Job Sim. It's like this is a game that you get into, everyone just gets right away, and it's super addictive, endlessly replayable. Yep, big time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I don't know if this is an offshoot of this, but I'll beat this dead horse again. Sony doesn't advertise their games, but Oculus does, and one of the ones they use in marketing is Beat Saber. That's a lot. And so I think there's name recognition, even if you don't know that much about VR. It's on TV,
Right.
So
I have a VR headset. Can I play this on the thing that I have?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think Beat Saber and Job Simulator are probably the two most popular VR games of all time, and that's why we see them constantly at the top, because they're featured on live talk shows and other things. They get a lot of mainstream.
Oh yeah, dude. There was a whole Jimmy Fallon bit where he had Brie Larson playing Beat Saber on an Oculus on stage, and they were having such a good time, and whatever. Like it was cool.
But that being said, I still think I still like to see some better music packs from them. It still blows my mind how much they're lacking. And this is why one of the things I'm really excited about Synth Riders, because I feel like Synth Riders, they have a lot of good variety of music and stuff, better variety of music, and to me the music selection in Synth Riders is so much better. Although I do like the gameplay probably in Beat Saber a little bit more overall.
Yeah, I just think the multiplayer is what elevates it. We've said this before. Beat Saber multiplayer, when it finally gets here, is not going to knock your socks off. I'm telling you up front. I've played it. It's not that exciting. Synth Riders is good. No, I'm saying Beat Saber's multiplayer, when it gets here, is not going to be that exciting. Whereas Synth Riders multiplayer is
amazing. Yeah. Played some, I think, yesterday. I don't know.
Cerebral Frost is in the chat. One of the developers of To the Top says, "Geez, looking at this list, I'm totally making the wrong game." And
yes, you are.
And that kind of makes me happy. He says,
"There you go."
Yeah, where's Pistol Whip on this list? Pistol Whip should definitely be one of these type of games that should be hitting the top 10 list month after month after month. Maybe we'll see when Smokin' Thunder comes out. Maybe we'll see it crack the top 10 again.
And don't worry, Cerebral Frost, because I don't have a Beat Saber soundtrack, but I've got the two.
They don't make a Beat Saber soundtrack, AJ.
I don't think who would want to listen to that anyways.
It's on Spotify playlists if you actually want to. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for the top 10. The only notable mentions in the Europe. I love how Europe always gets something a little bit different. Most of it's exactly the same, except for one game. And that is
Riot Simulator Soccer Edition.
Cave Digger at number 5. Oh my God,
Cave Digger cracking the top 10.
That's wild. What is up with you guys in Europe? Why do you like digging caves so much? You imperialist bastards! What's wrong with you? Come on. I don't know. That was a joke. I didn't mean it.
Cave Digger was $1 last month. Why isn't it?
Yeah.
It should be on the top 10 list just because everyone's like, it's $1. Yeah. Buy that. Buy it for $1.
Oh, there's also a significant difference here. In the U.S., Rick and Morty is number 4. In Europe, it's also number 4, but the name is all uppercase for some reason. Not sure why.
I don't think that matters.
It's strange. I don't know why they did it like that.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Okay. Well, guys, moving on to our next article, Brian. Hawk, you wanted a rumor. We've got a rumor for you, my friend. And that is that there is a rumor from the same person that basically leaked the date, I believe, of State of Play, who obviously got it from other sources, is now saying that there is an event happening next month. And after saying, I think he said, what, the 12th or 13th?
Yeah, let me bring it
Brian,
up.
In August 12th or 13th, something like that. And he quotes that there's an event saying he doesn't think it's a PlayStation experience. It's not the PlayStation experience, he says. But he does say that he then goes on to quote the thing that they said right before the State of Play in the PlayStation blog, which was that later this summer they were going to be showing God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and the next generation of PlayStation VR 2. So, in my mind, if this guy is correct about this event, there is a possibility that it could be one of those three, one of which being PSVR 2.
It'd be nice, although he's saying August 12th, right? A month from today, essentially.
August 12th, 5
That
p.m.
seems-
Eastern.
Based on the frequency of state of plays recently, and they can do them whenever they want, obviously, but like I don't think once a month is what they're up to. Like I'd be surprised if it was that early. I'd be happily surprised, but we just got one, So I don't know if I buy this 100%.
It's not supposed to be a state of play per se. It didn't say state of play.
Oh,
Just
okay.
an
I thought it
event.
did. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there's been, I think, a little confusion about what it's going to be. People were talking about, hey, maybe it's a PlayStation experience. That sort of seemed to be the running theory. And then his most recent tweet says, heads up, it's not the PlayStation experience. It's more like a state of play type event. And PlayStation experience has been pushed back further in the year. He's saying likely December or possibly early next year, like in March. Now, it would be awesome to see a PlayStation experience in December because that's when they always were. And it would sort of just like bring things back to like when PlayStation was basically, in my book, at their prime, when they were doing all these things that were really, really for the fans. And like when you did a PlayStation experience, you didn't have to worry about like investors and all this E3 garbage and show off stuff that like, was only the most AAA of AAA stuff. You could really, this is the time to talk about PlayStation VR and like really do deeper dives into that, where like maybe a smaller part of your fan base cares about it, but where everybody's just PlayStation fans and they're all on board no matter what.
Yeah. The only problem here is that this guy, he's had as many right as he has wrong. He kind of just throws stuff at the wall, and sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't.
Even 50% is pretty good, man.
Definitely.
It's like if I threw a bunch of shit at the wall, I mean, I do throw shit at the wall all the time, and like maybe 2% sticks, right? At best. So when it comes to somebody like Robert Serrano here, to me it says yes, he has inside knowledge, but like when things change at the last minute, no one goes, hey, we should tell Robert so he can update the leak,
Well, yeah, right? For sure.
So he's like,
behind the scenes, who knows what's going on?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
They're not
with
going to announce that they're delaying a thing that they didn't announce yet. Obviously, like
right. It's the same thing with what's his name, Aesthetic Gamer. It's like he has a ton of leaks. Sometimes he's wrong because shit changes all the time behind the scenes, and so it seems like this guy's somewhat credible. And as far as the August event goes, AJ and I were actually had a conversation on the phone recently about why this might actually make sense for PSVR 2. And that's in my book because there's probably no better time to announce PSVR 2 than at the peak of PSVR 1 for the year. When like just like it's game after game after game after game, and like you can look and say, hey, we just released 10 new games on PlayStation VR over the last week, and there's 20 more coming over the next month. And
these poor guys on YouTube are working their asses off.
Right.
Damn it.
But then you say, and so we've never stopped supporting PlayStation VR 1. Like it's still doing great. There's still new games coming out all the time, and now we want to show you what we have in store next, rather than have it be dead for 2 years and then go, hey guys, remember PlayStation VR? Like we're doing another one. Like it's like the momentum's dead, right?
If they came out with like a new Vita after not supporting it for a couple years and like, oh, we decided to make a new one, it's like that's not what Vita fans expected or want or whatever. I mean, right. I guess you're a Vita fan. But...
I definitely think it'd be a great time to capitalize on it, especially
bad metaphor.
Especially if people are going and buying PSVRs again. It seems like there's been a little bit of an uptick in with the Quest 2 kind of slowing down on releases, and then PSVR getting these huge releases. And then I don't know, it's just weird because Sony, I love how Brian processes it. Like it's like this whole like intricate thought process. But then when I see what they're doing, it's like pretend PSVR doesn't exist for 6 months, and then we're just gonna suddenly drop Moss Book 2 on the state of play. We're gonna lead with that, baby. Let's do this.
Just outside of frame, he's got a pin board with all these little strings connected. Yes. And pictures of the CEOs of Sony and stuff.
Very beautiful mind over here, yeah.
But I do agree with you that this would be it's getting close to. They could really do it at any point, really. But it's all just we don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. But to me, it would also kind of align with the with that event that you, Brian, actually broke the news on that you found out about, and that was sourced and everything. We know that for a fact, that there is some
The PSVR2
developer
summit.
summit.
Yeah.
Right. And so to me, it's like, could there be some relation between that developer summit and maybe this happening right after?
I think definitely, because one of the things that Sony and every first party manufacturer loves to do is always show, when they're standing on stage, they always have that humongous screen behind them that's like showing stuff, but then they go into the details and say, and these are all the developers that are supporting our next gen headset, and it's just like Capcom and this company and that company, and it's just like there's like 50 different developers that are all lined up on that giant screen, and it's like just to get this like last minute, hey, you guys are all on board, sweet, and then they follow it up with the state of play type event.
I mean, before you have a showcase like this, you want to double check with the developers and say, hey, you guys ready for this PSVR2 stuff? Are you going to support this? Can we get a snippet of your video or like something to show to say, hey, they're in on this, Yeah. And like, you want to double check and make sure you got some content, obviously. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, and this also kind of lines up pretty well with the PSVR 1 reveal. When they first revealed that, it was about, was it a year? I'm getting my timelines messed up, but it was a significant amount of time before the PlayStation VR 1 came out. Shuhei Yoshida's on stage and he's like, showing this thing off and talking about it, and I think we're going to see something similar. I think we might see the headset next month, and maybe not like a deep dive into any games, but certainly, hey, a ton of developers are on board, and here's like maybe like a quick sizzle reel or a quick mention of a few games that are planned for launch.
Yeah, I mean, and some game reveals too don't have to be more than just like a screenshot and the name of the game. Like when they revealed the next Skyrim or whatever, the next Elder Scrolls, it's just like no one knows anything about it. They didn't show any footage. It's like it exists, it'll be here. Metroid 4, it exists, it'll be here. Totally. It's fine. You can get away with that. Like,
so based on the amount of information that we have right now, gentlemen, are you excited for August 12th of next month?
No. I mean,
It's exactly 1 month away.
I'm never excited for August 12th of any month, Brian. Okay.
Yeah, I knew somebody was going to call me out on that. I'm excited for August 12th of September. Heed my words.
It's August. It's August in July, baby. Let's go.
It's October all the time over here.
I think this could possibly happen, but we still don't know what the event is. I'm not going to get excited over an event that I not even sure that exists yet. So,
all right,
we'll see
totally
what
fair.
happens.
Totally fair. But we'll be keeping a close eye on this, and as we get closer, we're counting down the next 30 days. We should hear something a little bit more concrete pretty soon.
Yes.
AJ, the next news story. You and I played.
Brian.
It's not a news story that you guys played. Come on.
Oh no, this is news, baby. This is
this is breaking news.
Well, and I haven't heard this guy, so I'm getting the news broken to me just live as the rest of you are.
Oh, you better
I'm
strap
strapping
in.
So AJ and I have, and to Dave to a certain extent too, have been playing Little Witch Academia on PlayStation VR behind the scenes, and getting ready for release and in the reviews and stuff. It's all happening this week, and so we decided we should really jump into the multiplayer. Now,
they didn't invite me.
Just to preface all of this, you were sleeping. We didn't want to wake you.
I've been awake all day, Brian.
You look so peaceful. You look so peaceful. We didn't wake you.
Okay, listen. I gave you that personal webcam feed for only one reason, and you're misusing it. And that's all I gotta say.
Wow.
Wait, what was the one reason again? No. So okay. So we talked about this. We talked about this game a little bit, and we were like, oh, I wonder what the multiplayer is going to be. Dave and I were speculating on this quite a bit on Friday, and we were like, well, they tether you to another racer. So we're like, oh, maybe there's a co-op thing where like you're doing this like Mario Kart double dash thing, and you're working together.
Said double dash. Yeah. I was like, there's no way it's going to be like double dash.
No, I didn't either. But I mean, come on, just to kind of give a better impression of what we're talking about.
I understand.
And then I was like, well, maybe it won't be that, but like it seems so weird that the game is like based around these two brooms tethered together and you're racing as a team. So why wouldn't that be an option in multiplayer? And then we were like, well, even if it's just you race competitively, there's no co-op. Well, then that's fine too. Whatever.
Yeah, that'd be preferred actually. I don't want to be tethered to somebody and they like pull me off the track.
So are
I
you
wanna be-
tethered to somebody or not?
Hey,
Spill the
AJ,
beans here. I
AJ,
don't know.
why
There
don't
you
you-
go. He's building up to it.
AJ, why
Okay,
why
okay.
don't you explain when we dropped into multiplayer?
Oh my God.
Exactly what happened.
So you drop into multiplayer. You choose like a tag. I was strong otaku.
I was pretty girl.
because that was
You've
Yeah,
always
were
been a
you-
strong otaku, I think.
I used a
What-
couple different names, but my favorite
He
one
was-
was Pretty Girl.
pretty
Pretty girl.
girl. I
Pretty
thought it was
girl.
was it pretty girl? Okay, I thought it was
They-
cute. There was cute
Can
witch,
you be
pretty
cute
girl.
witch was the first
Clever
one.
girl? Are you allowed to be clever
No,
girl?
no
Is that an
clever.
option?
Nope. No.
So you get into the multiplayer. You would think like we were very in the middle on this game, and we were like, there's just a few more things we need to play and really like set it in stone our impressions. And we're still under embargo, so we can't like review the game, but we can tell you what it plays like and stuff, what the gameplay is like. So you get into the multiplayer mode, and I was honestly expecting like, one-on-one racing or 4-player racing, 5-player racing.
It
Whatever.
gave us the option for 10 players. Sorry, I just
Yes,
I'm so excited.
There
Like,
is.
we
It's
can have
even
10
better.
of us.
It's 10-player multiplayer. However, it's just a field. It's like a field. It's like in front of the school, and you just fly around, and there's some beach balls that
Yep.
you can shoot.
It's free
And that's
flight
it.
mode. It's free
Are you telling me you
flight
don't fucking
mode.
race?
That's
You
the
don't race
entire
in
mode.
You don't
multiplayer.
fucking race?
AJ and I
No.
dicked around for like 20 minutes, and then finally we were like, okay, where do we go to race? And it was just like, oh
Yeah.
no, this is it. Like, this is the
Yeah.
entire multiplayer experience. It's just nothing. And
Here's the thing I think personally. If you call something multiplayer, there's kind of an inherent trust between us that there is something to play, right? Are we playing something together?
No, you're flying around.
just-
Oh wait, you have emotes.
I would call this a
can
multi-tenancy
emote,
mode, not a multiplayer mode. There's room for multiple people to show up there, but you can't do anything. That's
No,
ridiculous.
it just throws you out into a big open space with 10 players, and like I said, there's beach balls that you can shoot, but they just disappear and then they respawn.
Yep.
Oh, so you
and
can't
that's-
like even play Quidditch with the beach balls or any shit like
Dude,
that.
nope.
No, you're done.
Dude,
Damn.
So like
It
so
gets better.
we were like, well, we obviously there's got to be some kind of scorecard if we shoot each other, right? Like if we just make our own game out of this and run around shooting each other, dude. AJ and I sat there face to face, just shooting the fuck out of each other. No reaction, no score, no nothing. It was like it wasn't even happening. It was like, so
Yeah.
so they
Did you reach out and say what the fuck is this?
Oh,
to
you
the
better
developers?
believe I'm reaching out.
I'm going to.
This
You
all
better,
happened right
dude.
before
Like,
the show.
tell them, like, what is that?
Well, so it gets better. You remember how we talked about how later in the races, how it's like the orientation of the game, the racetracks go like
Oh, it
left
gets
and then
weird
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no turn buttons.
Yeah.
Well, there's no turn buttons still. So,
Okay,
like
okay,
you
yeah.
have to physically, you have to basically physically spin in circles
Yeah.
and stuff to turn in this thing.
Which
There's
the
no turn
DualShock
buttons on
4,
the controller.
the DualShock 4 light bar tracking loves it when you
Well,
turn around in a circle and don't face the
luckily-
camera. That's its favorite.
Luckily,
thing in
that's
the
not an
world.
issue here. Even though the loading screens say don't let the camera lose track of the DualShock because then it won't track.
Are they just using gyro controls
Yes,
instead of actually
100%.
light bar? Well, that's
It
good
functions-
actually. If you
no,
got to turn
yeah.
your ass around,
I
Like,
totally agree with you, except for the fact that must have been a last minute decision when they were like, "Oh, we didn't give them turn buttons, so let's just strip that
This
out."
isn't
because
really
it's-
working, guys.
Because it still says it in the loading screens.
Yeah,
It still says
so
don't turn away, but I'm like, well, I have to because that's the only way I can turn.
Yeah.
I just,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why there's no turn buttons at all. Like that finally became a major issue. It was a little weird during the thing. We all noticed it. And we were like, okay, that's a little weird, but it was so infrequent that we didn't think much of it. But then here you like really see it. So yeah,
Well, there were
what are you
times where I
doing
thought it
without
was
turn
almost
buttons?
I almost thought it was like a glitch sometimes, like I messed up or something because I would restart the level and I didn't get disoriented and I was on track again.
Yeah.
And so I was
Yeah.
like, did I mess up?
It's a weird
But,
orientation.
yeah, I don't
so-
know how it works exactly, but
So
rough.
yeah, man. But that's it. That's all the multiplayer is. And then, by the way, when you finish the 12 levels and you unlock the Star Cup is play the same level 7 times with each character.
no.
Yes, it's the
Wait,
same
what's the difference
track.
between characters? Like, so in the loading screen, they'll be
Nothing.
like, they're like, your roommate's from Norway. And I'm like, okay, that's why she's blonde. Got it. But like, that's all I know about her. Why would I want to play as her? I don't give a shit.
It's literally you just play with each one on the same track 7 times. There's no difference. They just
Oh my
sound and look different.
God.
And
I
that's
was
it.
curious what happened after the 12 stages because it seemed like an
Yep.
intro to the game. Like, hey, go through these first 12 stages, and then
So this
there's
is why I
more.
answered a question on Twitter earlier about, should reviewers have to play the whole game? And this is why my answer is a strong yes, because you don't always know. Sometimes VR games, especially, can be super deceptive, where sometimes they have a great first impression, or you say, hey, but then you play more and then it gets bad.
This one was
So much potential.
well, there was like a peak of our interest because at first we were all saying at the beginning we didn't like it that much, and then after an hour or so, it's like, okay, I see why this is kind of cool, and I actually did enjoy the way that the inputs work together, where your head and the controller like both interact with how you move and stuff, and I felt like I was playing Eagle Flight now and then, but it's just after a while, it's just like sounds like it's not worth it.
So still under embargo, but there's some more info on Little Witch Academia,
which everyone was waiting desperately to hear about.
I know.
No one
Jay
really
now
cares,
is devastated.
but dude, honestly, the thing is like, honestly, when a game is expensive or a game comes out and it seems like a cheap like cash grab or something, and then turns out like it's $30, or so this game or the Dinosaur Island VR thing, it's like I feel like we need to really do like a deep dive and make sure we cover it and like really know whether it's like worthwhile or not, because if it was like $5, we'd be like, whatever, man, if you're a fan of the series, go for it. But like $30,
But even like, so there's been stuff like this where I would say that they don't do as good a job. Like, there's part of us that at some point enjoyed this game, right? Did you ever enjoy One Piece?
100%.
Did you have
No.
a second of enjoyment in One Piece?
One
Exactly.
Piece was terrible.
So like
No.
Spice and Wolf. No, come on.
Nope, not
Like,
a second.
as far as anime adaptations go, the interstitial stuff and the depth of the game, I was actually a little surprised by. I was like, oh wait, like these anime cutscenes are like, they put some effort into them and stuff, and like, it's not the worst thing compared to a lot of the other stuff out there. So I wouldn't call it a cash grab. That's one thing I bristle at a little bit.
No,
I don't think it's a
definitely
cash
not.
grab,
I don't think it is at all. But that's why it's like super important. Again, like I feel like the more expensive a game is, like the more you have to play it just to be like,
oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I agree. I mean, I've always been an advocate of playing the entire thing for sure. Real quick, Baggy010 in the chat says, why do some decent games have such a hard time passing Sony certification, and garbage like this gets passed without a problem? Let me tell you, man, because it has nothing to do with the quality of the game at all. Like, Sony certification just wants to make sure that like things work properly, like the game doesn't crash, that the frame rate doesn't take a dramatic dive every 5 seconds. It has the comfort settings that it's supposed to have. Sony doesn't care if the game's good or bad, like at all. That's not what Sony certification process is
dude,
about.
it's like Warzone had an easier time getting through than like budget cuts. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah, technically, but I think they are a couple updates and content. They could fix this. I think to me it just seems unfinished, like especially the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But I think they actually got really close to making like a really good like Nintendo style, like Nintendo style racer. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say overall, I guess we can't say too much, but like the power ups were not Mario Kart level power ups.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Nothing was Mario Kart level in this game.
No.
Okay. For sure, I agree.
And now that we've gotten rid of all of the viewers,
yes,
let's talk about something even less interesting.
Baseball, baby.
Baseball.
Oh, MLB. Any baseball fans in the chat today? Cats. I don't think
somebody must like baseball.
I can hear the crickets.
More people than watch Little Witch Academia.
That's probably true.
There should be some sports fans in here, but MLB Home Run Derby VR got an update, and it's finally the game after 2-3 years, the game that it should have launched as. But no, it added 25 official 2021 ballparks and updated that way. And they've added leaderboards. They've added a new hub where you start out and you get to like choose your favorite team, and it customizes the hub to be your favorite team. It's like kind of half empty, but still the effort's there. And they did a significant update to this game. I actually picked this up recently, believe it or not. Finally, after seeing that it had so many updates, and
really,
and but luckily I got to play it right before the update. But It was improved. Like it was actually improved for a $10 game.
Mechanically, or just it has more stuff in it?
Content and features wise, I'd
I
say
guess
it's a little bit
scoreboards
better.
are important. Like if they didn't have scoreboards previously, that's sort of an oversight for sure.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Before this update with 25 new areas to play in, weren't there just like 3 or 4? Like this isn't just like this is like 18 rooms becoming actually 18 rooms. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not just a little bit. There's a lot more here. I think I remember playing in like Miami and like maybe 2 or 3 other places when I played this one. But 25 is like a massive amount
Yeah.
for
It's
an
a lot.
update. Like
Hopefully Brian's got the game. Oh yeah, that's my gameplay in the bottom. There we go. I didn't really go through that gameplay a whole lot, but I just took some quick gameplay of it. But there's still one big major problem, and
the gameplay itself.
no,
being-
actually the gameplay is fine. I actually enjoy the gameplay, and I like that
Okay.
there's leaderboards, and I like that there's a fan queue. I'm unfortunately an Atlanta Braves fan. I shouldn't say unfortunately. They have a championship, but Atlanta sports are cursed.
When was the last time they got a championship though?
Oh, like early 90s, 94, 95.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
But they should have had like 5 World Series titles, if not like 10.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yep. But anyways, but yeah, so I liked some of the new features and stuff, but the alias, this game has some of the worst graphics. This game looks like a PS1 game in VR.
So the new backgrounds are not like good looking, is what you're saying? Probably
Like
not.
it
sounds like
seems like they're better and they are like faithful to the real stadiums, but they're but yeah, it's just the game is just ugly. It is awful. I got pictures on my Twitter. Go click on those pictures and look at them, and like you just see it and you're just like, oh, it's so jaggy. Like it's so jaggy. It's awful.
Well, I think probably as far as sports organizations go, the MLB is probably not making as much money as like the NBA or the NFL. And maybe they just don't have the budget to make a good looking game. Who knows? Do people still like baseball? I know Rypop does, but
I mean, I like sports overall. I think a baseball game in VR should be amazing. Like
they have the show. The show is super popular, right? Don't
Sony
people love
owns
the
the
show?
show.
Oh,
Sony
yeah.
owns the show. It's one of the best baseball games, like basically ever created. My dad is a fanatic about it.
Yeah.
And like, there's kind of no excuse for us not having like an actual full-fledged baseball game, considering that Sony fucking makes it. It's like they didn't even give us like a VR mode at any point, which was not something I want. Like I want the whole game, but I just don't understand. I don't understand. I feel like pitching and batting, just totally forgot how the game was played.
catching.
Catching.
Well, there's
like-
not enough. There's not enough mechanics here to make it like exciting to a sports fan because you just swing the fucking thing. You just hit the ball. That's not all of baseball. Like the show, you're playing a game of baseball, right? Just like people play NBA 2K, but we have that NBA VR experience where you just shoot the ball the whole time and there's no gameplay otherwise.
I like that.
And that's kind of how this that's how this feels is where just like it reduces the sport to the just one part of it.
Yeah.
And there's no other deeper mechanics beyond just hitting the ball. You know what I mean?
But at least for $5, the NBA thing like gave you a ton of different mini games and fun things to do and stuff, and it was like, all right, cool. It's like at least there's something going on here. For this, I was like, I probably played it for an hour, got a ton of home runs, I hit a bunch of targets in the background, and I was like, this is just like fucking boring. So
Yeah, I wish there was like challenges or something. There's the leaderboards which help, but I still wish there was like
if you get a high score in that
challenges.
game, you'll be one of 6 people in the world who have a high score.
There was
I guarantee you. Like, come
there was
on.
actually a
No.
bunch of leaderboards. Like I wasn't
Really?
even top 10. Yeah, I was very surprised, man. I was
AJ
very
wasn't even
surprised.
top 10 in the world. Wow.
Well, I mean,
Incredible. He wasn't even top 10 in the world.
even after
That's
the
what
10
I
minutes you played, that's
I'm just
insane.
saying, you just expect to be top 10 in the world. It's like, okay, yeah, it should be. Like,
Do you want to give a shout out
No.
to Joey Bats33 with a $5 tip? He says, "My Red Sox loving ass is gonna pick it up for a cheesy fun
There you
game."
go.
Yo, now
Yeah.
if they add
cheap is good. Yeah, for sure.
if they add the if they have the Woo Sox, which we just got a baseball team here in Worcester, and they built a stadium down the street from me.
Really?
If that stadium, if Polar Park was in this game, well then I'd probably play it again. But I have zero interest, man. Like I can't. AJ's like, we're gonna talk about this during the show tonight, and I was like, great. I'm not fucking playing it. Like this all Zero desire. Oh, good,
was
new
glad that at
stadiums.
least somebody did. I knew I wasn't gonna either, but I'm glad somebody did.
Yeah, I mean, like, just zero interest. I'm so happy for anyone who already owned it. It's $10 now instead of $20, which, I mean, it was a total ripoff at $20. $10 is at least a little bit more reasonable, considering all the licenses and stuff I'm sure they have to pay. So I get it, but man, I mean, I hope people out there are enjoying this and are enjoying the update, and that's all I have to say about it.
I want
Real quick, there's a comment. Oh, go ahead, AJ. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I just want a good like baseball game. I want Super Baseball 2020 in VR.
Well, so here's what I'm saying. Baggio10 in the chat says sports in general have been sadly neglected on PSVR, and I actually do not 100% agree with that. I just think that established sports are not well represented. Like, you don't have EA games that are sport games or whatever, but you have like Spark and Sprint Vector and Creed and stuff that people, it's a sport. You use it that way and you get to your workout or whatever. But it's not like you can play a basketball game that's an actual basketball game in VR. So that is a weak spot. But like, I don't know, we got something. We need the big hitters to come in and, get people excited about trying sports in VR, because I'm playing as Steph Curry now. I'm Steph Curry in VR. That's great. That's fun.
Yeah, no, that'll be huge, man. Absolutely. To be, to actually have all of your friends out on the field playing an actual game of baseball be radically different than this, where it's just like a very, very isolated, boring solo experience.
And imagine, like, think about 2MD. Like, what could they have done with an NFL budget? If they let them take the reins, and like, that could have been a great game. Yeah. But like, it is a great game already. But like, it could have been a real NFL game if they let them, have the time and money for it.
All right, we should probably move on.
We're way over time.
I thought it was a decent update, and I actually do hope to see them continue updating it, but it is ugly. Like, it's cool content now. Like, content-wise, it's fine, but well, not great, but okay, better than what it was. But yeah, it needs a visual patch. All right, guys. So big news today, and that is a new Firewall 0 Hour season starts tomorrow. It's called Operation Rubicon, but there's a little bit of a catch to it.
There's no new shit. That's the catch. That's the catch, guys.
It's just a new season verbally.
Well, no, it's cosmetics and stuff, right? Essentially, for the most part.
Yes. So, So yeah, they do have they've got new trinkets, they've got new missions, new camo, new face paints, a lot of cosmetic stuff, like you said, new weapon skins. But unfortunate news is that there is no new map, which is the big one for me, and no new contractor. New contractor is sometimes cool because you get a cool new skill with it usually.
Yeah.
But for me, the thing that always makes me excited about a new season of Firewall has always been a brand new map. And
totally. I mean, and they've had some great ones in the past, few updates.
Great maps.
Yeah. You know what made me really kind of sad? I went to the Firewall 0 Hour Discord to see if anybody had talked about this news or posted the article or had a discussion. Mm-hmm. And literally it's gotten to the point where it's so dead there now that it was just all the posts from the last week were some guy posting his gameplay video with the title Firewall 0 Hour trademark. And it was the same title every time, just some dude streaming with like 3 views. And I was like, they're not even talking about the new season on here. That doesn't bode well at all for the player base of Firewall.
Well, I
it's
disagree.
Not a good sign. It's
I disagree. I think actually, despite this game always having negative press in some way, or people saying whatever, this game has typically always had it where it's been active in the one place that matters, and that is the player base.
Right.
What I'm saying is, I used to go to the Firewall 0 Hour subreddit, and they were actively talking about stuff all the time. Like,
well,
there were people
they're
in
probably
there.
all just in the Solaris Discord now.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, no, but it's so, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a disconnect there because, yeah, every time I've jumped onto Firewall over the last couple of weeks, just, I mean, within seconds a game is starting, and it's like, oh wow. So I don't know why they're not hanging out on the subreddit. Maybe who knows, man. But the fact is like the player base is still there, and But I'm with AJ.
Maybe
on
the
this one.
passion's gone though. Maybe the passion's gone.
Not
Brian.
not in not when you play the game.
It's a
is what I'm
loveless
saying.
marriage these days.
It's it's like I said, man. I've been playing the hell out of this game lately, and people are always online. I did see, and it's like, I see people complaining online. This one guy was like, I sat in a lobby for 40 minutes. What is this? I'm like, who in their right mind sits in a lobby for 40 minutes? Why didn't you just back out and start a new lobby like any sane person would do? Like, good God, no wonder the game's driving you crazy. But I understand that that's not necessarily the player's fault, that they think that sitting in the lobby is going to automatically fix the issue. But no, I think this game honestly is like, of the multiplayer games, it's always been the most active in my opinion, or just from what I've witnessed. Always been the most active. Always had a really cool fan base around it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of this game, and like I said, despite what happens online, which you see everywhere, I firmly believe that is always the vocal minority, because the results are in the game when you play them, when you play it.
Yeah.
It's evergreen. Like, playing Firewall is always good. I don't disagree with you at all. I just think, it hasn't been as active as it used to be in our community or in general, which is an obvious byproduct of time. Eventually people move on and do other stuff. But I agree that it's probably still the most populated game. You're right on that one for sure.
Nice. It hasn't been my experience. Like, I'm shocked every single time that it's like super populated, super active. So I'm really glad people are still playing it. The fact that it keeps going on sale. It's currently on sale right now. Probably keeps bringing new players in. But I'm with AJ on this one. The when they announced the seventh season today, and they said it's going to go live tomorrow, I was like, sweet, what's the new map? Right? That's what always gets me in. That's what always gets me excited to get playing Firewall again. It's like, explore new maps, see what it's all about, discover new locations, that kind of thing, just to kind of like, because at a certain point, I think when you play all the old maps, especially when you play with a bunch of like seasoned veterans, they know the right approach for those maps. It used to be, hey, do you guys want to hang back here? Do you want to run out and blah blah blah? When you're defending, it's like, and they're like, no. Here's what we have to do. You stand there. I'll stand here. Guard that door. We're gonna know if they're coming down this door because of that, and blah 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 blah. It's like they fucking know inside out, like, every single possible outcome depending on the map, because they played it so much. Everyone's level 50, or the people I've been playing with are level 50, and they're like teaching me shit. And I'm like, I've been playing this game since day one, and they're still teaching
so
me shit.
long to get to level 50, dude. It takes so much grinding to get.
Not as long
I
as it used
spent
to.
so many nights to get there, dude.
Not as long as it used to, though. They did update it.
Well, so that's why I like the new maps, because it's just like, because you go in and everybody's kind of like, oh, what do we do? Where do we go? What's what's the best approach here? Where are all the spawn points? So, where could the laptop be? Where could the enemy be spawning? So it's and so that's why I always like the new maps more than anything else, because it's new for everybody. There's very few times when a game's been out this long where there's something new for every single player involved, and that's why I like the new maps especially. So is this going to get me to jump back in? No.
I don't think
not.
so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I've already jumped back in. I've been jumped back in for the last month. So, if I, before all these games started coming out, obviously it's going to have some stiff competition now because of, Sniper Elite just came out, 1976 just came out. All these games we're getting now. The summer has begun, and it is like, it is almost firing on all cylinders at this point, getting very, very close. And yeah, so I had already jumped back in, started having fun and stuff. But there has been one last thing I'll say about this. When you talk about those players, but Patrick M says, I'm that guy, Brian. But I've noticed there is a little bit different culture change of the type of players. For a longest time, it was like only these like squads that just play day in, day out, and were like super tight and everything, and just would snowplow everybody. Those have kind of broken up a lot. There's a lot of people these days that play together without a mic on, and I know you have an advantage if you play a mic, but I've noticed so many more people play these days. They just hit public, they're by themselves, they don't have a squad, and they don't talk or communicate as much. The ones that I have talked to have been really nice. But I actually like that. I feel like it kind of evens the playing field a little bit, by having a little bit more variety of players. Even though there's plenty that are good, there's not these just like best of the best of the best always playing. And I feel like it's a little bit more of an even playing field than it used to be. It's actually improved in that area, in my opinion, which makes it really fun for me because I can go in there, I can stream, I can have fun and talk to the chat and just play.
I'll say very honestly that if I'm on a Firewall squad with you and you don't talk, I will heckle you or leave. Because communication is very important. It's not just a little part of the game. Like, to me, and that's why I like it too. Like, it's important. Be able to be useful by speaking even after I'm dead. I can't fire a bullet, but I can provide information and help people do better.
Yeah, I remember you were really good at call outs.
Because I died immediately after that. I had to get good at something, to keep people playing with me. And so that's what I love about the game, really, is the communication aspect. So I guess that I'm glad people are playing. I would personally be like, dude, turn your mic on. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, definitely. The last few times I've jumped in, it's been an interesting assortment of people. Some people who just don't talk at all, but they're fucking professionals and they don't need to talk to me. They're like, don't worry, kid, we got you. Without saying it, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, I'm just here for the ride. You guys are just helping me level up because I don't even see an enemy. Like, you guys got them before I even saw them or knew they were around. Or the other who I had an amazing group. I wish I wrote down all the PSN names, but they were just like the 3 level 50s. I was like, guys, I'm not gonna stick around. I'm dragging the team down and I'm not helping at all. And they were like, no, stick around. If you need help, we'll teach you. And they were like giving me like all sorts of different like techniques to play and different ways to like get better and stuff. And I was like, damn, dude, it's like I've been playing this off and on since literally day one. And these guys are giving me some really, really fantastic tips and telling me which guns to buy and all this stuff. So I was like, damn, it's nice, man. This Firewall community is so fucking friendly, and it's awesome.
Yeah, they're so awesome, man. They're so nice.
Yeah, guys,
they really are.
Real quick. This is from our last conversation. Looper the Game Cat with the 549 euros says, Headmaster reduces a sport game to a small element of it and does it incredibly well. When we're talking about sports games,
I don't know about it incredibly well. I like Headmaster.
There's so much extra there. Like, it's all about the delivery, the narrator, the sort of unsettling aspect of it, where you're like, it's almost like static, where you're doing a thing and you're like, why am I doing this thing? What creepy thing's going on behind the scenes here?
Yeah, Headmaster really took.
It's not so simple. Yeah.
Headmaster took something that I really thought was going to be a sports game and just made it something radically different and super enjoyable. Delirium Drew VR with the $3 tip says, Silence, Dave. Firewall is alive and well.
I'll mute myself.
Thanks, Drew. We needed the backup on that one. And also,
shut up.
We've also got Killicell 777 Forever with the $3 tip. Nice to see you, Killicell. It says, watch out for my shotgun, Dave. If you guys didn't notice, Killicell is in this footage that is running below here. So,
nice. Very cool.
It's
everyone in chat is coming for me, apparently. Shut up, Dave. Watch out for my shotgun. Come on, guys. Chill out a little bit.
I say we all gang up on Dave and Firewall after this. Can we do 4v1?
We were talking about doing a private Firewall tonight in the chat, actually, and I'm down.
Nice. Guys, make sure you join our Discord.
I don't usually do the private. I usually just do public.
I do that
just getting game cats in there is super fun. And rotating teams. You randomize the teams after every best of 3. It's pretty good.
I feel less bad about dropping out after an hour when everyone's like just ramping up and being like, oh, we're gonna be here all night, and I'm like, I got stuff to do. I'm sorry, I gotta go. It's, at least in public when people have no idea. Like, I'm out of here. All right, you guys, that brings us to PSVR 20 questions. And today is Monday, which means it must be AJ's turn. AJ, do you have a game picked out for 20 questions?
I do, guys.
That's fantastic if it's your first time watching PSVR 20 questions. Well, AJ picked a game, and Dave and I, along with everybody in the chat, trust us, we need your help in the chat. We got 20 yes or no questions to ask to help us figure out what game he's thinking of. I'm going to put 6 minutes up on the clock. We really need to make sure we keep this game moving, because sometimes it's just... there's no way I would have gotten Sniper Elite VR on Friday.
Well, yeah, that's your fault.
I was like, I didn't have a timer going.
It's not the 6 minute timer's fault. No, we blew through the timer.
That's right.
Kill the timer.
The timer needs to keep us. Otherwise, we can just sit here all day until the chat finally gives us the right answer.
So that's the only reason you got Sniper Elite. That's all I'm saying.
No, I 100% agree. I don't take that as a win for sure. All right.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of a hint before we get started.
Wait. What?
Don't do that. What the fuck's wrong with you? Don't give us a hint. No, wait till later.
It's not like a hint that gives. It doesn't give away anything about the game.
What kind of hint is that then?
if
Sounds
you-
like a bad hint.
Go for it.
I was just gonna
man.
say
We
I've
need all
taken
the
it
help we
easy
can
on you
get.
guys lately.
Okay.
And now I'm stepping it up just a little bit. Okay?
No,
Oh,
you
this
did
is hard
Neptune
mode?
Flux, motherfucker. That's not taking it easy on people. Get out of here.
This is
Neptune
That was like
hard
the
mode.
Flux.
first
Taking
one.
it easy on
My
you.
last ones have been like Iron Man and Skyrim. Come on.
Well, yeah, my last one
And
was Sniper
Blood and
Elite,
Truth.
and it took him forever to figure that out.
Yeah, which is crazy. All right, on your mark, get set, go. Has this developer made other PSVR games?
Damn it. Pause the timer. I gotta think about this. Quick.
The timer doesn't.
Okay. Yes. Okay, restart the timer. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it support the DualShock 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Does it also support the aim controllers?
No.
No.
Is it a
Wait, did I say move-
narrative-based
Did I,
game?
Dave, did I say moves or aim?
I don't know what you said.
No,
You said
Dave.
moves. It's not narrative-based. Okay.
No moves, not narrative. Okay.
You said aim.
Oh, that's what I said.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it also support the aim
Thanks for
controller?
keeping us honest, man.
Does it support the aim controller?
No, that's what he said already.
Wait,
You
wait.
said aim already. Does it
does
support
it-
moves? No, it does not support moves.
So no moves, no
Oh,
aim, just
God.
DualShock 4. Okay, I'm all cut up.
It's not going well. Not
Sorry,
going
the
well.
way I'm taking notes threw me off. I was reading things instead of thinking things.
Fine.
All right, so just DualShock 4. They've made other PSVR games.
Is this... Do you shoot things in it?
Yes.
Okay. Was it overpriced at launch?
I'm gonna say. I mean, that's an opinion.
It's
I'm not gonna
no.
answer that.
Well, I was thinking Archangel in my head, and Archangel's not an opinion. There's not an opinion about Archangel.
That, Archangel also
Yeah.
used the
It's a
moves
fact.
controllers.
Oh, does it use? Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, yeah.
I'm not gonna count that
Will
one.
not answer that
Okay,
question.
we'll skip that one.
It's not Archangel.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Anakaze said Minotaur Arcade. That'd be a sneaky fucking one to have Jeff Minter as a multiple developer. I'm not
Does-
going to say that's what it is. But,
Does this game? We'll tackle this and Pixel Ripped at the same time here. Does this game speak to retro gamers at all?
that's your opinion, man.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Okay.
That takes care of a lot of stuff.
I get what he's trying to say. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Yeah,
say
I know. I'm just joking. So okay, so it's not that. Is it scary at all?
no.
Okay.
Not scary. Well, I don't know now. That's my knowledge base is now useless.
Does it have full locomotion?
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so if it's full locomotion. You shoot stuff. Use DualShock 4. The developer has made other PSVR games. Just let's clarify this. Is it first person?
Yes. That's number 10.
Okay. I'll just want to say also, by the way, games like Moss, Astrobot, despite the fact that you are a character in the game, I would still consider those third person games.
They are third-person
You-
games. Yeah.
But you are a
that-
character in the game.
You
So
are
people-
embodied. I guess.
I mean, I would.
but
I
for the-
would
for the
consider that
purpose-
both
for-
first and third
for the
person.
purpose of this game.
I would. I'm just telling you. I would consider those both first and third person.
For the purpose of this game, to help us get to the answer, those are third person games.
Is
would you-
it a racing game?
No.
Okay.
All right. Is it? Would you call it an adventure game?
No. It's 12.
Is it funny?
Wow.
Is it trying
little
to be
bit.
fun? Is it trying to be funny?
A little bit,
Okay,
a little bit.
it's
of
trying to be
comedy in
funny.
there.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Yeah, a little bit of comedy, but I would just mostly forget that. But a little bit.
Not
of comedy.
Trover level. It's not Accounting Plus or anything like
No,
that. It's,
no,
okay,
no,
yeah,
no.
gotcha. It's not the main feature of the game.
No.
I like old
hardly.
Darth's question. We should always be asking this. At any point, do you drive a vehicle in this game?
Yes.
Okay.
Finally, that worked.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So
Oh.
first person vehicle, full locomotion. You shoot stuff. DualShock 4. They've made other PSVR games. So far, it's sounding like Battlezone to me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I can't,
Is it multiplayer?
What'd you say?
Is it multiplayer? Does it have
Yes.
multiplayer support? Oh,
Yes.
we're getting a little closer.
Now,
then,
I will say that Battlezone is a remake of like a 1980s arcade game. So, like, I would say the retro question I asked would sort of
Yeah, there's also a whole mode where you play in the retro style, where
So-
it's like line graphics. So that one we might have to revisit if it is Battlezone.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's unlikely based on the answers we've gotten so far.
Let's see. This is a specific one, but is it a game with multiple difficulty levels that have procedurally generated paths, and also you unlock tanks as you go?
The fuck? No.
It's not Battlezone then. Okay, never mind.
Do you fly out in space?
That was 16. Yes.
You do fly out in
Okay,
space.
we're in space.
Okay. So
Yes.
okay. Dave, real quick, let's list these games off. It could be Eve Valkyrie. It can't
Could it be Squadrons?
You're at 17.
Could it be Squad?
Squadrons has move support, doesn't it?
No.
No.
I don't
No.
think so. It has HOTAS
HOTAS.
support, but it doesn't have. Yeah, it doesn't have move support.
Okay, so it could be Squadrons. It can't be. There's like some single player games I'm thinking of. Shoot. Oh, was this? Well, Eve Valkyrie was a launch title, right? So let's narrow it down. How many questions do we have left?
We're at 17. This will be 18, I think. It
Yes,
looks like.
this is
Yeah.
question number 18.
Did this come out in the first launch year in the first 12 months of PSVR?
Yes.
Dave, I
Oh,
think
we're getting close.
I think
we're
it
getting
might
real
be
close.
Eve Valkyrie. What can we ask for our final
It
question?
might be. Let's see. Eve Valkyrie specific stuff.
Was the single player campaign super shallow?
Is that your question?
I have a more specific one.
Go ahead, ask
if
it,
that's
Dave.
okay. When you're in a multiplayer lobby in this game and people aren't there or your level's too low, do they fill it in with bots that have obvious bot names?
Yes.
Okay, we know what it is.
You have to
It's
guess.
Okay,
it's
let's-
definitely Valkyrie.
Okay,
It's
hold
gotta
on.
be
Just
Valkyrie,
before
100%.
before I did see somebody say Starblood. I want to make sure that it doesn't.
I don't think Starblood filled you in with bots because it took forever to get the match started sometimes, but I could be wrong about that. I don't recall. But yeah,
You wanna go with
You
Eve?
got to be Eve Valkyrie.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it. I do feel like it could be Starblood, but let's go with the Valkyrie because that's probably most likely.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Is it Eve Valkyrie?
Is it Eve Valkyrie?
It is not.
No!
Valkyrie.
No!
It is Starblood Arena. You were so close.
Carlos.
You were so close. That was
Wow.
fantastic.
I kind of nicked Carlos with my headphones there. I didn't mean to.
That
sorry.
was so good. I think Rypop was the first person I saw
Oh, my
say that. I told you that's a tough one. I know that's a hard one. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I had to give some love to Starblood. Also, I don't.
At least you were
okay.
close, Brian. You had it on the tip of your brain.
You guys,
Like,
you had
got close to it.
50-50 chance there. That was super close. It was really good though.
What other PSVR game did White Moon Dreams? I know they ported Saints and Sinners. What other PSVR game did they make?
That's a good question, actually, because that.
Well,
Well,
threw me off. I
they've
didn't
made
know.
like every PSVR game apparently. They've made like every PlayStation game.
Oh well. Also, though, similarly,
their
we
name's
could
not
ask.
the same.
I had to think.
No,
I had
Brian,
to think about
slow
that
down,
question.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Did the creators of Valkyrie make another VR game?
Yes.
Oh, I guess
Yeah, I
Gunjack.
think
Gunjack. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot
Wait,
about
isn't that
Gunjack.
CCP? It was Spark as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Spark is
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
I had to think about that question really hard, but I actually thought that would help you more than hurt you to say yes, they made another PSVR game, because I feel like they did.
Yeah, I mean,
Our Blood Arena is kind of funny, but you're right. It's not the main focus of the game.
Yeah,
I liked the
wouldn't-
commentators actually. They were kind of clever. Like,
I will say that was the first question I asked, and that's I think it threw me off because their name has never been on another game, even though we know that they've contributed to a lot. But good one, man, good one. Has
Got you this time.
you got us this
Got you
time?
this. You were so close. I mean, it couldn't have
close.
been any closer.
Yeah, right. It definitely came down to the absolute last question. So
Um,
that's it. That's it. Good game, always fun. Win or lose.
another feather in your cap, AJ.
Thanks for all the help, guys. We almost had it. Thanks everybody in the chat.
Another Quill.
This close.
Yeah.
This close. God damn. All right, you guys. I want to say make sure we give a shout out to every single person that we love out there, which is all of you. But basically, hold on a second. I just want to make sure we have the right trailer going here. Oh, that's my review. I don't want my whatever. You know what? We got to get out of here. So, Thank you to all of our moderators there who make us make our life so much easier. Thank you to SciFiGamecatHenry, who provides us all the timestamps for this show literally moments after it's over. It's like 6 to 12 hours. Also, shout out to Miles Dyer, who's running our Instagram account. Shout out to Dave. Make sure you subscribe to Dave Station.
Oh, me. Thank you. Yeah,
Shout out to AJ.
You.
Make sure you subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground. Follow him on Twitter even, if you feel like you should. On top of that, thank you to everybody who hung out. Thank you to everybody who donated, keeping this channel running. Thank you to everybody who supports us over on Patreon, getting on that scroll down below. And thank you to everybody who participated in the chat, made the show so much more fun than it would have been without you. And of course, thank you to everybody who sat back, watched the show, didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. For another episode of PSVR.
Quick shout out. Happy birthday. Justin Cassidy's got a birthday going on, guys. Let's get a round of applause for this man. He's made it through another year.
Do you applause for birthdays now?
Yeah, no, he made it, dude. He's not dead yet.
You made it.
You made it.
Cue the cat.
Cue the cat, Brian, because I want to say happy Monday. See you Wednesday. Two guys on fist bump to you. Shades of Gray Matter. Thank you so much for dropping by. Flame Hat, Game Cat. Ciao to yourself. Gabriel 004, the life is meow. Game Cat says happy birthday, Justin. Old Darth also says happy birthday, Justin. LC2552 Beats says happy birthday, Justin. Decepticon, aw yeah. Scott Jessica, PSN Harry Fellow, PSVR Game Cat for life. Thank you for watching, sir. Johnny Rap out the Stray Cat, good job guessing Starblood Arena. I saw it. Emily Baxter, the hashtag Game Kitten says the cat. Miles Dyer, join the PSVR without Parole Instagram if you haven't already, he says. Thank you for running that. Blue Jew, the Underground Game Cat Elite Name Squad in the house, also wishing Justin Cassidy a happy birthday. Kramer 3K says smash that like button. Thank you guys so much for doing that. Dave Station VR in the chat. Bob Zarkoff, the Underground Dave Station Game Cat. Good night to you as well. The elitist, the PC Master Race of.
Don't go there with that.
Okay. Sergeant Frosty, good night, soldier. Anikazi, why is AJ drinking from a mug that has his most hated game on it? You know, guys, I was with you when I was rewatching the GAMESCAST. Afterward, I had an emergency work call 10 minutes before the show, and I was screaming the bird thing with you guys. Now, I don't know if I agree with everyone thinking that it's an owl right away. I kind of feel like it could be a hawk. But I, too, saw the bird and was like, yes, how did they not see the bird? I'm with you. Tom, thank you so much.
So we don't notice much around here, AJ. If you're not here to tell us what's going on.
Some of us look at things deeper than face values. Job. Some of us are more analytical. And we don't see things that are just on the surface. We like to dive deeper than what's presented to us.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Patrick Cheb says you could see it in AJ's eyes when Starblood came up. I did make a little face twitch when that happened. Aceville the Attack Cat says great pick. I know my dude right there loves the deep cuts. Peter Cordova says AJ has the best poker face. Dude, people hate playing me in poker. I am the worst. Hack
Watch
the Game
that when
Cat.
poker stress drops for this guy.
Stay lit. Well, luckily there's a VR avatar. I'll have
Kramer,
a minotaur.
Well, and
body.
luckily it'll never get released.
Kramer 3K
Richard
says
Smith
it's
in
a
the
parrot.
What?
Kramer 3K says it's a parrot.
It's a parrot.
Not a hawk. Not now. It's a parrot. Yep. He's gonna go.
Some fat underground game cat's parrot is the main boss in Moss Book 2, man. Oh, I can't wait for Moss Book 2. Hype, VR, and Music Corner. Thank you for joining in. Old Darth, once again, Twitch is a single-player game cat. Shades of Gray Matter. We'll make sure I get as many people as I can. Nike, Alexandria the Game Cat, Philip Rabchin, Cerebral Frost, thank you so much for one more time. Time to play. Let's do this, guys. See you Wednesday. Rock and roll.
We should end all the shows with rock and roll. That's cool. I like that. Rock and roll.